There was a time not long ago when replacing a used Mercedes transmission control module felt like walking into surgery with a blindfold on. You knew the unit could work. You knew it was good hardware, but the Immobilizer data locked inside it made everything complicated. One wrong move, one bad solder joint, one slip while cutting open the casing, and that expensive module could turn into scrap. And that raises a bigger question that a lot of technicians are quietly asking right now. Are we finally moving past destructive TCM work on modern Mercedes systems? I'm Hussein, and welcome back to Baabji Motors, where we break down real workshop procedures, real diagnostic tools, and real-world solutions that actually matter when a vehicle is sitting in your bay waiting to be fixed. This discussion is strictly for educational and informational purposes. Always follow manufacturer guidelines, local regulations, and proper safety procedures when working on Immobilizer and transmission systems. Today, we're diving into a major update that changes how we handle Mercedes FBS3 and FBS4 transmission control modules, especially the VGS2, VGS3, and VGS4 units. And stick around until the end, because I'll explain whether this really replaces traditional methods, or if there are still scenarios where older techniques might be necessary. Let's set the stage properly. When you replace a used Mercedes-Benz transmission control unit, especially in vehicles equipped with FBS3 or FBS4 security systems, you cannot simply plug it in and expect the car to start. The Immobilizer data inside the TCM is locked to the original vehicle. That means the unit must be returned to a so-called virgin state before it can be adapted to another car. Traditionally, especially with FBS4 VGS4 0NAG2 7-speed transmission modules, the market solution involved physically opening the module. Technicians had to cut the cover, access the board, solder connections directly to the processor or EEPROM area, and manually manipulate the data. Now, let's be honest. That process works, but it is not friendly. It is time-consuming. It demands a very steady hand and advanced soldering skills. And the risk is high. These modules are not cheap. One mistake with heat, one lifted pad, one short circuit, and you are looking at irreversible damage and serious financial loss. For many workshops, especially those that do not specialize exclusively in ECU-level board work, this kind of destructive method simply adds stress and liability. This is where the new update comes in. OBDSTAR is releasing a significant transmission control module software update scheduled for March 2026, specifically targeting Mercedes FBS3 and FBS4 TCM systems. The supported tools include the OBDSTAR X300 Classic G3, provided as ECU Flasher activation enabled, and the OBDSTAR DC706. These platforms are designed not just for reading and writing, but for structured module handling, including virginization, personalization data transfer, and VIN writing. Let's break down the supported systems clearly. On the FBS3 side, we are talking about VGS2 and VGS3 and AG2 7-speed transmission control modules. On the FBS4 side, the focus is on the VGS4 0NAG2 unit. The key function here is virginization. That means erasing the internal Immobilizer data, so the module behaves like a brand new unit from the factory. Once virginized, the module can either be personalized using original vehicle data or programmed through official online systems, depending on the workflow you choose. What makes this update significant is the method. Instead of cutting open the casing or soldering to the board, the process can be completed through OBD mode or bench mode, depending on the unit and configuration. No cutting, no soldering, no destructive access. For workshops, that dramatically reduces operational risk. In practical terms, here's how it changes the workflow. You connect through OBD or bench configuration using the supported OBDSTAR tool. You read the original vehicle's ECU or relevant data. You perform the virginization process on the used TCM. After that, you complete personalization or data transfer using the correct diagnostic procedure. In many cases, once the personalization is done correctly, no additional online programming is required. The module can be installed back into the vehicle, and the car can start immediately if everything is matched properly. That efficiency matters. In a busy workshop environment, time equals revenue. If a job that once required opening a module, performing board-level operations, resealing the casing, and praying nothing failed can now be done cleanly through OBD or bench access, the improvement is not small. It reduces turnaround time, lowers the technical barrier, and minimizes the risk of damaging expensive hardware. Now, an important detail. Virginizing FBS4 VGS4 082 via OBD is being released first in this update cycle. That alone is notable because previously FBS4 solutions were largely tied to invasive methods. There are other tools in the market, such as certain Launch X431 ECU programmers, that can perform VGS4 virginization in bench mode. However, OBD mode support is not available there, so having OBD level access adds a new layer of flexibility, especially when bench access is inconvenient or when you want a more streamlined setup. Of course, we need to keep expectations realistic. Even with advanced software updates, proper procedure still matters. Power stability is critical. Correct identification of module type is critical. Backing up original data before performing any erase operation is absolutely essential. A careless technician can still create problems, even with safer tools. Technology reduces risk, but it does not eliminate responsibility. Earlier, I asked whether we are finally moving past destructive TCM work on modern Mercedes systems. The honest answer is that for many FBS3 and FBS4 VGS2, VGS3, and VGS4 scenarios, yes, we are clearly moving in that direction. When OBD or bench-based virginization is supported and stable, there is very little reason to physically cut open a module. However, there may still be rare edge cases, corrupted units, or unsupported firmware versions where advanced board-level intervention remains necessary. So traditional skills are not obsolete, but they are becoming less routine. From my perspective, this shift is healthy for the industry. It lowers the barrier for competent workshops to handle advanced Immobilizer-related transmission work without gambling on expensive hardware. It also makes the repair ecosystem more sustainable because fewer modules are destroyed during experimentation or failed solder attempts. If you are running a workshop that frequently handles Mercedes 7-speed NAG2 transmissions, especially in vehicles equipped with FBS3 and FBS4 systems, this update is worth serious attention. And here at Baabji Motors, we will continue testing these solutions in real-world scenarios, not just reading spec sheets, but verify what works reliably under workshop conditions. So what do you think? Do you trust OBD-level virginization enough to completely abandon open cover methods? Or do you still feel safer when you can see the board and control everything manually? I would genuinely like to hear your perspective in the comments, especially if you have hands-on experience with VGS2, VGS3, or VGS4 units. Here's a practical tip before we close. Whenever you perform any virginization or personalization job, always document the original VIN, software version, and hardware number before making changes. Even if the tool claims full automation, keeping your own record can save you in complex cases where readaptation becomes necessary later. If this breakdown helped you understand the shift in Mercedes TCM handling, let's aim for 1,000 likes and 100 comments on this video. Only a small percentage of viewers watching Baabji Motors are actually subscribed, and subscribing truly makes a difference. Deep, hands-on technical analysis takes time, testing, and real investment in tools and vehicles. When you like, comment, share, or subscribe, you directly support that effort and help the channel move closer to becoming the #1 trusted resource for real diagnostic knowledge. If any tools mentioned are available through affiliate links in the description, they are clearly labeled, and using them helps support the channel at no extra cost to you. As always, the goal here is education first. Transparency always. Thanks for spending your time with me. Keep sharpening your skills, keep questioning the old methods, and keep pushing forward in this industry. I'll see you in the next one.